Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. This is the first stretching yoga mobility video that we're going to be doing, so I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and come back next week for another one. Today, once you guys are ready, we're going to meet on our mat. It won't be a long video, it will just be a short flow, and we're going to concentrate on the hips today. So if you have a few minutes during your lunch break, if you have a few minutes after work, or even as soon as you get up from bed, I would recommend just moving, and if you are tight on the hips, definitely watch this video and do it with me. So yeah, let's get ready for some fun. We are... let's see what we're going to be doing. All my videos are going to start a bit slow, and I'm going to try to explain as much as I can because I know that not everyone knows how to do yoga or is very new to yoga and movement. So we're going to start off in a downward dog. So if you come on your arms and knees, we're going to send the hips back up to the sky and meet in a downward dog position. We're going to be concentrating on our hips today. The hips is where we hold a lot of stress, a lot of tension. So we're going to move that. Once you're in your downward dog, maybe you pedal out your feet. Eventually you will touch the ground, but if you can't, maybe you're here, it's quite okay. It's a bit different for everyone, so do whatever is best for you. Right now, I can touch the ground with my heels, and I'm just going to pedal out very slowly, making sure our eyes are down on our mat and not forward. We don't want to create tension in the back of our neck here. Ears are in line with our elbows. And I'm just going to hold it for 1 second here. Take a deep breath in. And let it all go. Awesome. We're going to take the right heel up to the sky, making sure our hips are squared here. We're going to bend the knee, open up the hip here. Maybe you do some circles. Making every move here very intentional. Feel every nook and cranny on that hip move. And open up the other way. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Awesome. We're going to come to a still on our three-legged dog here. We're going to drop that down. And we're going to lift our left leg up to the sky. Hold for 1, 2, 3. And open up that hip one more time and just rotate it out. Yeah, I am crackling today. Whew. I have very tight hips. Just so you know, I am with you guys. You are not alone. We're also sitting most of our days if you work a 9 to 5. So this needs a lot of attention. Awesome. Three-legged dog. And bring it down. We're going to come to a quick child's pose here to just reset. Bring it back on your heels, lengthening through the arms and the fingertips here. Take a deep breath. When you're ready, we are going to come. Whew, it is hot. That was a good morning fire up movement flow. Okay, So the first thing that we're gonna do to work on our hips today is going to be a butterfly stretch. So I'm gonna face you guys. I have it written up there, so don't mind me, just looking up my notes. So come with your feet together here and try to bring your knees to the ground. If you're right here at the moment, it's so okay. It'll get there eventually. That's the point of yoga and that's the point of movement, right? We're working towards something. So we're working on our hips today, and this is such a great movement for opening up the hips, the hip joint. So if you have a bit more flexibility like I do, this is probably very easy for you. But this, I remember when I was little, this was very hard, and somehow I'm just very open with a butterfly position. But you can just be here and you can just be fluttering away with your butterfly. So these stretches that I'm about to show you guys, you can do at your own pace. You can time yourself. You can do them in rotation, whatever is more convenient for you. Usually I like to do maybe like 30 seconds and just see if I feel anything with the stretch, and then I move on. If I'm working on something, something harder, like working on splits or something, I like to time myself because you could just be working on splits all day, and split stretches actually really suck. They hurt a lot. So once you're ready, we are going to come to another mobility session. So we're gonna sit with our legs in front of us for this stretch. And this is a very underrated stretch, I feel like. You can do, it's a simple forward fold, and you can do this standing up with your bent knees, or you can do this sitting down with bent knees, and we're gonna try to reach our toes. But it's such a great stretch for our hips, our hamstrings, all of it. I just love a good forward fold, and especially if you do it standing up, it's amazing. You just feel so good on your back. If you've been sitting down all day, I don't know, it's just such a great stretch, and I feel like it's a very underrated stretch. It doesn't directly stretch our hips, but it does work all of our bottom half. So whenever you're ready, you're gonna lift up, take a deep breath in, and you're gonna forward fold. And the goal here with a forward fold is to get our chest towards our knees, not to get our head towards our knees. So if I pull up my shirt here, I'm not going to because you guys are gonna see my belly. You can see that my chest is touching my knees, right? My head can touch my knees, but that's not the point of this stretch. So we're just gonna hang here for a couple of seconds. Just get all of these hamstrings fully stretched. Okay, so if you're here on this forward fold and you can't touch your toes, that's okay. Maybe you're here. Make sure that you're lengthening your spine and then leaning forward. You're not hunching back. You're not trying to touch your toes. That's not the goal. So make sure you lengthen through your spine before you forward fold. And the goal is to lean forward, hinge at the hips, and try to touch your toes. If you guys are uneven like I am, my legs are longer than my arms, obviously my hands are gonna go farther. So if you are more stretched and you are more flexible, what you can do is grab a block and you can put it at the bottom right here of your feet. Let me move back actually. You can do that, and the stretch is going to become a little bit harder. So you're gonna lengthen, breathe in, and breathe out and stretch. And I'm telling you guys, this is a life-changing stretch, especially if you are trying to do handstands, or if you're already in the inversion part of your practice, of your yoga practice, this is such a great movement because a lot of handstands, a lot of presses, you have to work with your hips a lot, and this is such a great movement to strengthen that. So eventually you will touch your toes. If you can't do that at the moment, that's quite okay. It's, you know, it's not a race. Move at your own pace, and whatever works for you, whatever works for your body, you know. Okay, and now we're just going to do these. These are some of my favorite movements for hips as well. So we're going to sit on the, we're going to sit in the middle of our mat. Have your knees bent in like this. Your feet are going to be about hip width distance from your feet, like so. Maybe you have your arms up forward. This is what I like to do, but you guys can, you know, do whatever works for you. So I found that forward arms helps me. So we're going to move our knees right, and you should feel it right here on this side of your hips. Open that up. You can either hold it here, or once we move to the right and lean right, you can just go back and forth with this movement. This is such a great mobility movement for the hips. And you can feel it immediately. Oh gosh, I can definitely feel this, guys. I'm so tight. So you can come middle and move right. If you're a bit tighter, I would suggest to just come and hold. You will feel it a little bit more if you hold it. So I feel it here. And then, you know, tightening the abs. You're gonna move back and forth. I definitely feel it. And back to center. Awesome. That is one of our other movements. The next move that we're gonna do, I'm sure you've seen in a bunch of yoga classes, but if you are tight on the hips, we are going to do a lizard pose. So you can come to this pose very different ways. The one way that I like to is from a lunge. So you're going to bring your right foot forward, your left knee is in the back. So your hands are gonna come to the inside of your feet. That is your foot that is forward. So you want to kind of slowly bring that right foot to the outside of your mat. So your hands have space here on the inside part of your foot. This back foot is going to lengthen. So now you're kind of in a lizard pose. This front foot, you can either open up so you feel your hips a little more. If you're not there yet, and this is a very uncomfortable position for you, you can bring the knee down, the back knee, for an easier stretch. You should feel this on your hips, on your hip joint. You should feel that sciatica stretch in the back. So you can either stay here, or if you're a bit more advanced, you can come on your elbows. And this is a lizard pose. If you want to work your abs, you can bring your back knee and fire it up. You can fire up the abs, you can fire up the hips, you can work on your arms. This is a very, very intense pose if you really hold it here, guys, okay? So you can either hold it, I mean, you can probably like go back up and maybe do another lizard if you can't hold it, but I think if you hold this for 30 minutes, 30 minutes, please don't be here for 30 minutes, 30 seconds or a minute, you should be fine. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna bring that right foot to the back, bring that left foot forward now. We're gonna walk it out to the edge of our front mat. Bring those hands in to the inner, to the inside of that foot. Maybe that back foot comes up, maybe it stays down. Maybe you come on your forearms for a deeper stretch. And just hold here. It's raining today. It's so peaceful. Oh my gosh. Such a great day for yoga. This is going to fire up that core as well. Awesome. So we're gonna bring that back. Maybe just take a child's pose after this and just stretch it out. Open up your hips, bring that bottom to the back of the mat, stretch out the arms here, and just melt down on your mat for 1 second just to reset. Breathe in and let it all go. Oh God, I'm cracking. I haven't done yoga in a while. This is gonna be great. I'm so excited. Okay, awesome. So this bottom part is all fired up right now. And now I feel like this next pose and last pose is one of the hardest ones. So we're gonna take pigeon. Sure, everyone knows what pigeon is. But I'm gonna show you guys anyways because it's such an amazing pose to open up your hips. So you're gonna either come to this pose from a downward dog, and you're gonna bring the right foot and place it in front of you like this. Oh yeah. And that back foot is going to straighten. This front knee is going to be bent, making sure that our hips are square here. This is more of a intermediate pose, I would say, for hip openers. So if you don't have that much mobility in your hips, this is probably gonna be a bit harder. So I'm gonna show you guys an easier version of pigeon pose and something that can help you work towards this pose. So you can either hold it here if you're already on pigeon pose, or you can come down to your elbows, making sure that we're square in the hips, our bottoms are touching the floor here, nothing is off our mat. So this is a great pose. I actually really like this pose. You can chill here for 30 seconds, a minute, just working on that hip. Oh yeah. Just release all that tension that you have on your hips here. We hold so much stress. This is the center core of our being, and sometimes we just need to let it all go, you know? So we need to feel rooted, and our root chakra is very important. Awesome. We're gonna rinse it out on the other side. So bring that right foot back to downward dog here. Bring that left foot up, and it comes to your left elbow maybe, and then you just gently place it down in front of you. The right leg is lengthening towards the back of the mat here. So this front leg is kind of funny. A lot of people like to bring this in, and the proper way of doing this, or what I've learned, is to have this squared. That's going to make it harder on your hips. So if this pose is already really hard for you and you're kind of like barely there, maybe you just bring this a little in, this foot, and it's kind of like in a slash, and it's going to be easier for you. Maybe you just work your way to get to a parallel leg like that. That's going to make it harder on your hips. So if you're not there yet, that's okay. And we're just gonna hang here for another few. I could really take take a nap there. Okay, we're gonna bring our left leg back to downward dog here. Maybe you pedal it out here. And maybe now that you're in a downward dog, maybe now your heels press down on the floor. And I say maybe, so if they don't, that's okay. Maybe next time is the right time, and maybe today is not the day. You're gonna take one more breath in, and just let it all out. And come down on your knees here when you're ready. And that was it. So that was it, guys. Thank you for joining me on this little hip opener flow / exercises. If you're feeling really tight on the hips, I hope that you guys do these. These will help a lot if you feel very unbalanced in your root chakra. Don't forget about the hips. We hold a lot of tension. I've mentioned it a million times in this video. So yeah, I'll have better hair next time, okay? So that is it. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys next week for another yoga video, and I'll see you guys Sunday for a regular video on my channel. So, wow, okay, I really need to redo this hair. Okay, bye.